Y'all, I am freaking out, man. Where's my unk hat? Where's my unk? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's just get into it, bro. Let's just get into it. I'm in shock. I'm mad. This fool just had to show up, man. I'm not supposed to focus on talk about the other show when I just saw what just happened. All right. I gotta calm down. Man, I want to get to it. I want to get to it so bad, bro. I want to get to it so bad, bro. Look, we gotta give everybody else their shine. This dude just overshadowed everything I saw tonight. Dang, bro, I got all these notes to get to the point. Okay. Before we talk about the final big thing of the night, if you know what I mean. I'll show you the final big thing. All right, no, I'm sorry. Okay, so the first match, I can't believe I just saw that. First match for the women's world title, Naomi defended versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. It's a three-way. It's a three-way. Pretty standard three-way matchup. Rhea and Io. I'm not trying to speed run through it. I see the highlights on my TV. Okay, so basically they targeted Naomi throughout the match together, and then of course eventually they. Io hit a great dive outside the ring, genius of the sky. Naomi pulled Rhea Ripley's tights for a roll up. And I ain't talking the Wiz Khalifa song either. Get it? Whatever you need me, whatever you want me. Sorry. So Naomi gets the win, and we go to the next match. Six pack, not beer, but six pack TLC. The TLC. We're not talking about the R&B group. The tables, ladders, and chairs, and they get to the crowd. They show the. Oh my gosh, I'm so flustered. The Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys are in the crowd, and they promoted TNA's Bound for Glory, where they're going to go at it for one final time in a TLC match, a match they made famous. The Street Profits versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix versus Fraxium versus DIY versus the Wyatt Six with Uncle Howdy and them in the back. I didn't really want to do too many notes of this match because we kind of knew what was going to happen. A bunch of chairs are going to be used, a bunch of tables are going to be used, a bunch of ladders. The Street Profits paid homage to the Dudley Boys, which I thought was pretty cool. Then Candice LeRae got involved, and then B-Fab got involved. And then Nikki Cross got involved. But Candice ended up going through a ladder, like a literal ladder. Like, oof. Johnny, instead of checking on his wife, he's like, I'm going to go for the gold instead. But anyways, later in the match... also, Eric Rowan got involved for a bit, but the Street Profits and all of them took care of him. And then we get towards the end of the match. Andrade basically powerbombed Uncle Howdy through the ladder, man. I was worried about his nuts, bro. Pause. Not like that. But, like, he from the position, it looked kind of like, you know what I'm saying? My boy was risking the Andrades, if you know what I'm saying. Might need an ice pack for that. But Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis were able to secure the win for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which was pretty cool, pretty great match, stunt worthy, basically. Bro, I'm still flustered by what I just saw or who I just saw. Let's get to the match. I'm not trying to speed run and disrespect the people, but there's so much to get to before we get to the point. Okay, the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, no disqualification, basically no holds barred. I don't feel like laming everything. Becky Lynch defended against Lyra Valkyria. I think Lyra really showed herself in this match in a good way. Lyra had a crowbar, and then Becky pulled out the kendo stick, and of course the crowbar wins, obviously. Then Becky wrapped a steel chain around Lyra's mouth, kind of like what that girl did to me that I met on Craigslist. Then Becky hits Lyra multiple times with the kendo stick, had her like in the, and all that stuff. Becky brings out a toolbox. And Michael Cole was like, I always wondered what was in a toolbox. And I was like, bruh, it's a toolbox, Michael. There ain't candy in there. Really, Michael? What's in the toolbox? I don't know, tools, bruh. But Becky pulls out the zip ties, kind of like what that girl did with me that I met on Craigslist. She used zip ties. So she used zip ties and tied Lyra's hands together. And then she hit her with a wrench, kind of like what that girl did that I met on Craigslist. Let me stop with that. Right, anyway, in all seriousness, though. And then Lyra made a comeback with a series of moves, and she was basically tied. Her hands were tied together, and she's hitting all these karate John Claude Van Damme kicks and all that stuff, like, and all that, right? And then she literally did the drop kick. That was the best move of the match, where she jumped off of the steel chairs that Becky set up and hit like a Power Ranger kick in her face. And then she hit a moonsault with her hands tied. That is like pretty amazing. So she goes under the ring. And one thing I noticed at this point, why isn't there like a box cutter or some scissors in a toolbox? I mean, I've seen toolboxes with those tools, but I guess they didn't have that for whatever reason. But eventually, Lyra was able to get out of it. When she went out of the ring, she had her hands completely free. Then they exchanged, like basically Becky wrapped Lyra in the chair, throws her into the announce table, and then Lyra recountered. But then Becky like basically like put her leg and just stomped on the chair and all that other stuff. And then Lyra's body, she was just, like kind of like what happened when I was with that girl from Craigslist. No, I'm joking. Let me chill out. So, so next thing I know, right? Bailey comes out of the closet. Elijah. Bailey comes out and basically save Lyra because Becky was about to use the crowbar and all that other stuff. They get into a bit of a brawl, and then Bailey tries to run her knee into Becky Lynch, but Becky moved out of the way, but Bailey ended up going over into the crowd, probably followed in somebody's lap. And then like Becky laid herself out trying to use the table that was set up at ringside, and Lyra hits like a leg drop, a cannonball leg drop, whatever that was, on the Becky. Throws Becky back in the ring. Becky went for a manhandle thing, and Lyra reverses, but Bailey tried to knock Becky out with the chain, but she ended up hitting Lyra instead. Becky hits manhandle slam, and she gets the win, which means Lyra cannot challenge Becky for that Intercontinental Championship until Becky loses. So, I'm trying to calm down here. Next match for the United States Championship. Inside a steel cage. Solos, basically, it was a pretty hard-hitting match, kind of standard, what you expect in steel cage matches. Solo's crew comes out, and Jimmy Uso tries to help run an interference, but towards the end of the match, Tala Tonga handcuffed Jacob to the top of the steel cage. Before Solo can escape out the door, Jacob broke the handcuffs. They missed the shot to catch it, which would have been cool to see, but they showed it in the replay after the match, so we didn't really miss it. He broke the handcuffs, dragged him back in. Solo tried to escape again, and then Tala Tonga basically rammed the door, hitting both Solo and Jacob, but Solo was able to roll out like ludicrous. I'm joking. And Jacob, essentially lost the match. Solo retains the U.S. title with the help of his crew here. So next thing you know, Jimmy Uso basically sent JC and not Tala Tonga, but Tonga Loa. Anyway, let me stop. Sends them back inside, and Jacob hit a move which I thought he was going to do during the match, but he ended up doing his signature moonsault off the top of the cage onto JC and Tonga Loa, while Solo and Tala Tonga basically watched. So Jacob kind of got the last laugh. Next, Dirty Dom versus AJ Styles, which AJ said could be his final SummerSlam. Man, all my favorites, bro. Why everybody going away? Why? We're far away. No, let me stop. I feel what you feel when you're far away. It's been 100 days. Okay, shout out to Jessie Reyes. I love her music. I hope I get to see her in concert one day. Okay, so Dirty Dom versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship, the Men's Intercontinental Championship. AJ Styles comes out in a lowrider or whatever that was. It comes out in a car wearing Eddie Guerrero inspired gear. AJ used all the mind games, and this was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. Kind of like pretty cool. Singles match here. Dirty Dom has come such a long way. Dom tried to use the Eddie hitting the chair on the mat trick and fell out, and then the crowd cheered, and then AJ wrapped the chair around his skull and fell back too, so he kind of reversed the trick. And it's crazy to think, Eddie been gone for almost 20 years now, yet people still shower him with love and affection, and I love it, man. You know what I mean? I am your puppy, where I live, viva la raza. You know what I'm saying? But what we didn't see, Dominic unzips his boot, hits AJ behind the referee's back with the boot, and hit him with a frog splash. Great strategy, to be honest. And Dirty Dom was able to retain the title, which surprised me. But man, what pretty good match between those two. So we'll see where the AJ goes from here. Let's get to the meat of the pause. Not like that. Y'all know what I mean. I was about to say let's get to the meat of the matter. Now I realize. And see, now I'm mad. Now I want to cut the video off. Moving on. Let's get to the main event. We're getting to it, y'all. I'm excited. The WWE Championship Street Fight. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' entrance was fire, bro. It was pure cinema, as the kids say. He comes out, I believe that was a Dusty Rhodes promo, I believe I heard at the beginning, because I saw the polka dots. He comes out, rises up from the stage with the light and the smoke and all that other stuff. Then John Cena comes out, and he brought back the classic entrance. It's like we stepped into a time machine, y'all. This was, in my opinion, this might be the best match of his retirement run thus far. I mean, he's still got 4 months left. Maybe something else could happen. We gonna see. But this match was, bro, beautiful, beautiful. This definitely beats their WrestleMania match in my eyes. Cena came back with a classic entrance that had all the colors and all that other stuff, and he looked at Stu, I believe, the cameraman, and said, "Let's go to work." And I got chills on that. And he ran down the stage and he did all the classic Cena stuff, man. They started the match by hugging, and there was no, it was straight. He was like, "All right, let's go." And then they started fighting right off the back. You know what I'm saying? Cena looks at Tyrese Halliburton on the outside of the ring, did one of these to him and took his crutch. And I noticed throughout the match, Cody caught some boos, man, which is like, well, it was to be expected. I mean, there's a lot of Cena fans and, other stuff. People been feeling Cody lately. Cena threw those steel steps to the outside and actually hit Cody. I thought he was going to move out the way, but they took some hits in this match. Cody hit a pile driver and Cena kicks out, right? And all this other stuff. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, yo, Super Cena back. He kicked out. Next thing you know, I with a pile driver, I swore, I don't know if the fans said this, so correct me if I'm wrong. It sounded like they were chanting, "You can't use that." Yes, he can. You can't use that, because the pile driver is banned and stuff, but it's a street fight. They can't do anything. Cena hits the AA, and they were both down. I was expecting somebody to come out at that point, and I'm like, man, I hope nobody comes out and ruins this. But that did not happen. Cena hit I want to call it what do they call that move? A sunset flip on the floor or whatever it is. And his face was like, I could still do that. Like, I loved it. It was adorable. Cena and Cody basically fought into the crowd, which was pretty cool. Then they go under the stage, and then Cena and Cody, it's like the light and the smoke. He stood up and was like, rising up, and he hits an AA really hard on the stairs. Bro, they threw everything at each other in this match, and I'm all for it. That might have to go down as one of my top Cena matches so far. Let's see. So, next thing you know, I'm looking at my notes, that's why I'm looking down. So Cena takes Cody back to the stage, and then Cody gets a new age of life. New age of life. What the heck does that mean? A new wave of energy hits the second win, throws Cena into the table, and everything of that nature. Fast forward through all the back and forths. Cody uses the steel turnbuckle and hits Cena. He looked very conflicted, like, I don't know what to do. He has the ref to, like, sort of, be like, hey, ref, check him. And, Cena ain't gonna quit. Come on now, never give up. Basically, Cena reverses, and then Cody hits 3 crossroads in a row, and Cena kicked out. I was like, what? You know what I mean? And then the fans chanted, Super Cena. I love that. I was shocked they said, that was the first time I think that's ever been chanted. Super Cena. And then Cena hits 2 AAs and a super AA from the top rope. And Cody kicked out. I was like, what? The fans were like, holy bleep, right? It would have been funny if they chanted Super Cody. That would have been hilarious. And then we get to the point at the end of the match. Cody basically hit, they said it was a Cody cutter, but it looked like a bulldog to me, but whatever. Cody cutter through a table, and then Cena was on the ropes, and Cody gives him a salute and hits one final crossroads for the win. And they embraced each other. And here I thought this was going to be the end of the match. Or it was the end of the match. What am I talking about? But I thought it was going to be end the show. And that's basically all that happened. So, great SummerSlam night 2. Y'all know I'm just playing dog. Brock freaking Lesnar showed up. I said, what in the hoot nanny D golly? Brock Lesnar literally returned after how many years? This brother been gone since, what, 2023? The last time we saw him was that Backlash against Cody, bro. Brock Lesnar literally showed up. I ain't seen Brock Lesnar since I met that girl on Craigslist. Okay, I'm playing. Bro, my mind is blown. Bro, my mind is blown. No pause. No Diddy, too. Like, what the freak? But y'all get what I'm saying? Brock Lesnar showed up. F5 John Cena. Bro, just when I thought this retirement run couldn't get any better, Brock said, hold my cowboy hat. What's crazy is I do remember like a year ago they asked, is Brock Lesnar ever coming back? And Triple H said it's up to Brock Lesnar. But Brock is back. When I tell you I'm looking forward to what's next, I'm looking forward. Let me know what y'all think. I think night 2 was better than night 1, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below.